Hey, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for joining with me each and every week. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. My name is LaShondra. I'm the founder and CEO of Committed Journey, the best place to gain a wisdom, insight, and strategy for every journey of life. Today, I'll give you guys a few tips regarding co-parenting. I know there may be a lot of you out there that have to deal with this. If you have children and you are not with the other parent living in the same household, this can be a difficult task, but I will tell you that it can be easy to do. I know it's easier said than done. However, it can be an easy task and you can actually love to co-parent. I just have a few tips, not all. I didn't combust them all because I really wanted this to be a short video, straight to the point. So I'll just give you a few to start you off. Co-parent is just the shared duties of upbringing a child or raising a child or children. That's it. It's just a duty that is shared. If you are a parent and you have children and the other parent, if they are involved, this should be a shared duty. It shouldn't be just one person doing more than the other or one person doing it all. However, I do understand that that happens where it seems that only one side or one parent seems to be the one that is doing all the work. But there can be a level ground where you two should be able to come together and cohesively co-parent your child or children. The key is just to separate the personal from the co-parenting relationship. I know that it sounds like, how do I do that? But it can actually be done. You have to remember the main goal for coming together. You have to remember that this relationship should be different than the previous one that you were in. If it was toxic, if you guys didn't understand each other, whatever those issues were that caused you guys to separate, when you come together to co-parent a child, you have to remember that this relationship is different. You can't go in with the same mindset to raise children. This is going to be a new beginning that is entirely about raising your children. It is for the well-being of your child, the well-being of your shared responsibility. I once heard someone say that when two elephants fight, the only thing that gets trampled on is the grass, and the grass being the child or children. So if you have two adults that are going into this thinking only one-sided, one way, it's their way or the highway, their way or no way at all, you are already destined to fail. You have got to come to an agreement to have, number one, effective communication. Be sure to watch your tone when you're talking to one another, and just make requests and not demands. All that looks like is saying, what do you think about this? Do you think you can do this? Or can we do this instead of that? Versus, I need you to do this, or go do this, go do that, go pick up Johnny. No, you have to watch your tone, and you have to make a request and not a demand. Another thing is to listen to hear and not to respond. So with effective communication, you have to listen to one another to hear and understand what the other party is saying, and not to come back with a response or an answer. Be sure you're listening to what the other person is saying, and put yourself in that situation to actively hear what is being said. Because sometimes you can be presumptuous thinking that you know what they mean or know what they're saying, and trying to shoot down their recommendation just for being on the defense. This is a huge one. Be a team. Do not go into this being on opposing teams, creating a team of one-on-one in basketball. Be a team player. You guys are in this together, and you should be on the same team. This is for the well-being of them. This is not to score points. This is not to hit the bucket. This is not to win the trophy, but this is for the well-being of your child or children. So you have to become one. With that comes the number one thing that I spoke to you about, which is effective communication. If you are not effectively communicating, this leaves room for the distant in becoming a team. Nobody said that you have to be on the phone with them all day long or asking approval for every little detail in the child's life. But this means that being a team player, if one makes a decision, I'll give you an example. If I am to put one of my children on punishment or ground them at my home, I will let their dad know that they are on punishment for X, Y, and Z. We'll have a conversation. And you know what that does? It allows him to know that they are on punishment for X, Y, and Z, and vice versa. He'll let me know the same thing, because if he has made a decision to ground one of the children and remove something out of their life, and then they come over to my house and I allow them to continue the use of their devices or whatever it is, continue doing what they are not supposed to be doing, there's a breach. There's a breach that the child knows that there's a hole in this, and I can do one thing at one parent's house and one at another. Granted, that's going to happen, but just make a great executive decision on when that happens, or have a conversation to let them know what your thoughts are on maybe releasing the punishment or anything. But do not negate the fact that one parent has spoken or disciplined the child, and then you come back and release the rod or lift the rod. You have got to become a team player when it comes to discipline, when it comes to any area in your child's life. I'll tell you what happens. The children learns to play the sides. They will play you two against each other if there's not effective communication, and if you two are not playing as a team. You have to remember that children oftentimes half tell the story. They won't tell the complete story, and not to say that they're being sneaky, but that's just how children operate. They may only answer what you ask. So that's why it's important to continue and keep the open forms of effective communication, and be a team player. Let your children see that you both are on the same sides of raising them in an effective manner and respecting one another. Respect one another. Respect means to look again, to look over again, to redo something. We are going to respect one another. Just be polite and be kind. Respect is that gateway that builds trust and safety. If you're trying to co-parent with someone that's difficult, maybe you need to come in with a mediator to have a conversation. But this can be done. No matter how difficult, how it may seem, it's only as difficult as you are attached to those negative feelings and emotions. When you respect one another and you begin to build that trust, and it's a safety net, this is good for your children to see. With respecting one another, they begin to see effective problem solving solutions. They will see that if there's a problem, it can be handled and solved effectively and without the demeaning of the other parent. Always be sure that you are not negative talking, down talking, being passive aggressive against the other parent. Best practice is don't do it at all. That way you're not trying to figure out if Johnny is around when you are being passive aggressive. You want to support one another's decisions. It's okay to agree to disagree. Just don't be disrespectful about it. Just don't demean the other person. Remember that you should always respect one another. There are no big I's in little you. Not I and you. Keep the finger pointing to a 0. No finger pointing. There's a few things that you want to check, especially when you're communicating with the other parent. Check your attitude. You want to check to be sure you're not bringing in a negative attitude from a negative feelings or negative emotion, either from a conversation or past issues. You want to be sure that you're going in with a fresh attitude, neutral attitude, so that you're able to effectively communicate. Check your tone of voice. Be sure that you are not being aggressive or displaying a voice of anger or frustration, which can in turn frustrate the other party. Also, be sure that you're checking your body language. Your children are watching your faces. They're watching and listening for your tones. They're watching and listening to see if you're rolling your eyes or smacking your lips or deep sighing. Your children are noticing these things. And then also check your motives to be sure that they are pure and they are in the best interest of the child or children. That's all I have for you right now. Really quick, really simple, really doable steps that you can take like to have an effective co-parenting relationship. Your children will love you for it. You would love you for it. You will even like the other parent for it. This can be done. Change your mindset around it. Change your tone around it. Change your attitude around it. And watch your atmosphere change. Until next time, be sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with someone. Just click the share button. It is a free $99 to like. It's free $99 to comment. It's free $99 to subscribe. And if you'd like to continue to get notified of every time new content is dropped, don't forget to hit the bell icon. I'll see you guys soon.